Colter, we know that in Montana there's a lot of hunters, a lot of gun enthusiasts, so you might as well shop local when you're looking for your next firearm or accessory, huh?
Selway Armory, they got the best prices around and the best service you'll find anywhere. As the guys over there will tell you, shop with Selway Armory for a year. We guarantee you'll save some money.
The other thing is they have great knowledge. There's a lot of questions that people have about the right styles and types to suit them and what it is that they're trying to do, and all the guys over at Selway Armory know their firearms and ammunition and accessories inside and out.
With locations in both Missoula and Bozeman, Selway Armory has some specialty products as well, including full Sig Sauer inventory for your best in handguns and much, much more.
Like Colter said, 2 brick-and-mortar locations, one in Missoula, one in Bozeman, and also online, tremendous inventory there. They'll ship everything you want, SelwayArmory.com.
It's been a little bit since you've been coaching the Bobcats. You're the first guy we heard, though, when we walked up. So what was it like just taking the field again? I feel you've been on so many times, but I haven't been on in a couple of years.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. Obviously, it's memories start to flood back in as you step foot in that stadium. Stadium's a little bit different every year as I come back. It's a great feeling, but it's still business. When it's all said and done, it's still about getting out there and coaching these guys up. And you push all that stuff, all the nostalgia behind, as soon as you step between the lines, because it's about business from that point on.
What differences do you see just in the program in general, compared to 2016?
It's drastic. It is absolutely drastic. And that's what's so cool about just transitioning from the University of Washington and the culture that they have built there. Coach Peterson and that staff, an amazing job they've done there. Coach Choke's vision when I left here in 2016 was very similar to what they have established there at the University of Washington. And now coming back, you can just tell the culture has completely flipped and changed in the right direction. This is a player-run locker room. Those guys, over the course of the summer, did an amazing job as far as leadership and setting the standards for all the guys. And you can just see it within how we go about practice every single day, how these guys come prepared for meetings. I mean, it's just a drastic flip as far as the culture is concerned. It's awesome to see be a part of it.
With that, when you describe it as player-run, I guess, what does that free up the coaches to then maybe pursue?
Well, then we don't have to. We are always stressing the details and the little things and all those. We don't have to coach that up as much anymore, right? Now we can coach really as far as football, fundamentals, situational football, really focus on the big picture, and the players can police themselves as far as all those small little details. Granted, we're going to continue to stress that as coaches as much as we can when it comes to X's and O's, but these guys handle everything as far as just within the locker room, within the meetings, how we want to go about our business on an everyday basis, and it just allows us to coach as opposed to worrying about those small off-the-field issues.
From a personnel standpoint, some of the best athletes in the league play on the Bobcat defenses. What do you think of just the pieces you have at all three levels?
And I walked into a very good situation. I mean, I'm very fortunate in that regard, where I walk back to, or come back, and I've got 5 returning starters, or 5 seniors in the back end, 2 of which really 3 of which are all conference caliber players, and we've got a host of guys behind them that are hungry to be all conference caliber players. Up front is one of the better looking fronts that I've seen since I've been around Montana State in a long time, as far as the talent level, athletic ability, physicality, just how we look when we come off the bus in general. We've got some guys that look dang good when we get off the bus, and that's awesome. And at the mid-level, the linebacker core, same thing. That is a very deep, talented group. It's going to be a fun competition to watch through all fall camp. So personnel-wise, the pieces are there. And so it's our job as coaches, as a defensive staff, to put the pieces in the right place.
You talk about the strong side, Sturt and Troy lining up on the same side. You have to love the potential of those 2 guys playing on the same side.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good-looking group right there. I mean, that's an intimidating force when you look at Troy with his speed and athletic ability to burn the edge, and you got Sturt, who's just a strong, physical defensive end that can really also burn the edge when he needs to, has some finesse to his game as well. So that just gives us some great options as far as that to the field. And we can move those pieces around. That's the other great thing about all these guys, is we stress versatility within our defense and understanding the big picture, so we can move pieces around in order to get the matchups that we want.
Well, what went into moving Bryce to end?
Just, again, personnel, just trying to get the best pieces on the field. We've got other guys in the locker room and other guys on the defensive side up front that have some really good capabilities. And so we felt like, to get the best 11, let's move Bryce to the end, to the field side, and let's get a chance for some of the other guys to come in at that bucket and X position. Not to say that Bryce wouldn't line up there every once in a while at the boundary as well. So again, we've got versatility with our how deep we are up front in particular. We can move some pieces around to get the right matchups when we need to.
What stands out about Amandre?
Just a smart football player. Very smart, very football savvy. Takes every detail, takes every coaching point that you give him, and does not make the same mistake twice. You may get him every once in a while as far as early in fall camp, but if you come back to that same play, he's going to have it figured out. He's also very athletically gifted, so you combine those two. We're a guy that has very great deliberate practice habits, very attention to detail oriented, and you combine that with physical capabilities, it makes for a pretty good makeup for potentially a special player.
Coach talks a lot about how coachable Troy is, and I know he didn't really do anything during the spring. So, how quickly is he grasping things during this position switch?
Yeah, I thought Coach Daly did a great job in the spring as far as just keeping him involved as best he can. Granted, he didn't get out there and do the physical reps, but he was taking as many mental reps as possible. And that's again something that's about Troy. That's how Troy does things. He's going to take advantage of every opportunity, regardless if he's on the field or off the field. So he did a great job with Coach Daly of making sure that he stayed on top of it, just his assignments. And now getting out there and being able to actually physically do them, it's really easy for him because of how well he prepared as far as the mental side of it before we got out there in the fall.
How do you think Troy just kind of affects the rest of the defense and with the impact he got?
Mm-hmm. I think it's just like anything else. You put a good football player on the field, your confidence level raises a little bit. Everybody around you can look out there and they know that number 15 is going to do his job. And that's what we want to stress with all 11 guys on the field, is do your job and trust everyone else in the field that they're going to do their job. And when Troy's out there, you know that Troy's going to do his job. Plain and simple. It's not going to be the case where, Troy's out here, I'm not going to do my job because Troy's going to take care of it for me. All right? Troy's out there and he's going to handle he's going to win his one-on-one battle. But we expect everyone else alongside him to do the same thing. And that's the standard that we have on the defensive side. If you're out there, you will execute and do your job. And just having those pieces, Sturt, Troy, Madre, Tonko, all those guys out there, you know and trust those guys are going to do their job when you get them down.
Just with your history with this program, how cool is it to see, where it is right now, culture-wise and depth-wise, and with the expectations as they are? Yeah, no, I love the fact that the expectations are where they should be for this program. This program should be a powerhouse at this level. We should be competing in the conversation as far as the playoffs, and once we get in the playoffs, we should be in the conversation as far as winning a national championship. That should be the standard every single year, and it's awesome to be a part of a team that has those type of expectations and standards. But the bottom line is we're still practice 3 of fall camp. We've got a long ways to go. And defensively in particular, as many pieces that we have, as great as our personnel is, we still got to put them in the right place, and we still got to go out there and perform every single day. We've got to be a consistent group. And so I love our expectations and standards, but that's all outside noise at this point. Right now, our standards are high, and we got to play up to our standards every single day as far as the practice is concerned.
Kind of along those lines, I talked to Derek yesterday, and I asked him, with all these guys coming in from Washington and coaches, is it starting to feel like Washington? He said, no, we want this to be our own identity. How have you kind of relayed that to the transfers and you guys coming in? How are you making sure it stays Montana State?
Oh, yeah, that's obviously as an alum from Montana State, I take pride in the fact that this is Montana State. This is Bobcat football. This is our Bobcat football family. And we take pride in that. And granted, yes, are there things that we have used from the University of Washington that are helping us as far as schematically or little things that they may be doing? But Coach Choate, when he came here, this has always been his deal. This has never been about the University of Washington. This has always been about MSU, the Bobcats, and riding for this brand. And that message has been very clear since 2016. And regardless of, yes, because guys are familiar with the culture at the University of Washington, because of their similarities in how they do things and how we do things, that just helps with their transition. It helped with obviously my transition going from here to there and now back. But it is still all about Montana State and the Bobcat family.
How you adjusting to coaching safeties?
I love it, man. I love it. I love being back there. That's home base for me. It's been a while, obviously. I hate when the ball goes deep and we don't catch it, but that's part of being part of this position. is that any given day or any given play, we're going to be the best player on the field, or the next play we could be the absolute worst player on the field. That comes with our position, and I absolutely love it.
Years ago, Mike Kramer told me, everybody looks at the quarterbacks to figure out the best team that makes guys, but you should look at the safeties. You got two of the best guys in the league. So what do you think of those two guys' potential and how they'll contribute to your team?
Starting with Quay's a ball hawk. Quay does a tremendous job as far as getting off the hash and being able to make plays on the ball. He's a smart football player. And then when you couple that with Braden Conkle's physicality, his overall athletic ability and versatility as far as his ability to cover, his ability to blitz, his ability to support as far as the run game is concerned, that's a pretty good combo back there. You put those two together, that's a hell of a safety right there. But the two between them, we've got a great understanding of our whole defensive picture. And to me, the safety position is always the quarterback position of the defense. Granted, I'm biased because I played the position, and I'm the defense coordinator now. But I'm going to still say the safety is always going to be the quarterback in any given defense because we see the whole picture. The linebackers, unfortunately, they can't turn around and see what's going on behind them. They can tell everything up front, but those back-end guys, we can see everything. So we are in charge of making sure everything goes right, and we're the last line of defense, and it's all said and done.
When you look at the some of the competitions at the inside linebacker spots, what are you looking for?
Yep. I really love that group. I think we've got a tremendous inside linebacker group as far as just our depth. The challenge for Coach Daly and myself is to sort through that whole group and figure out who are the playmakers within that group, who's going to give us the most production and give us the best chance to win on Saturdays. And if we would love for two guys to just stand out, but at the same time, it never hurts to have the depth that we feel like we're going to have there. So over the course of the season, it could be a six-man rotation. If that's how it is, that's how it is. That's just going to provide the depth, and as we all know, injuries happen, but we feel really good about that group as far as overall talent and ability. The issues are going to be the challenge, which is a good challenge, is figuring out who's going to be the best, the playmakers when it's all said and done as far as any given third down, money down situations. Who are the guys that are going to step up and make plays for us that role?
Speaking of third down, that was one of Coach's, rallying cries, I guess, for improvement coming up this year. So how would you evaluate maybe what you're going to try to do to make those improvements?
Yeah, right. Money downs, we call them running downs. That is literally what it's all about. We've got to get off the field. Our whole job is to score, get the ball back for our offense. And on third downs, it's our chance to get off the field. So we've got our awareness or execution has got to heighten every time we end up on third down. So we'll stress that as coaches, but that's not enough, right? We can say it over and over and every day, but schematically, X and O's wise, we've got to put the pieces in the right places. We've got to have the right personnel on the field on any given money down. So that's how, as a coaching staff, we can control things. Hey, I got to get my best 11 guys out there in a third down situation. Right? And then I've got to put the right guys in the right places as far as the personnel is concerned. And then when the ball snaps, it's on those players to understand, hey, I've got to do my job. We've got to get off this field.
It's like your 20th fall camp here, but this is your first one as a new dad. So how's that going for you?
I'll tell you, man, that has been an unbelievable, that understated as far as how hard that is. It really is. Like you hit it right on the head, man. This is like the most homesick. I don't know if that's the right way to put it. But this is the worst I've felt as far as, man, I miss my daughter, I miss my wife. This is like, wow, what is happening? I haven't had this feeling before in the however many camps leading up to this. But yeah, no, it's been different in that regard. But I loved yesterday when my little daughter came out on the grass fields and was running around. That to me was like, I had to almost choke back a tear a little bit. I don't want to obviously football coach, I'm a tough guy. But in reality, man, that was the first time my daughter ever set foot in the practice fields, and I'm looking forward to next time we get out of the stadium, she can run around the stadium. But yeah, that tugged on the old heartstrings a little bit.
How old is she now?
She is 14 months. I never said I'd be the guy that used months. Like, I know a little bit, right? Like, months? What are you talking about? Just give me how many years. But now she's a year. I know she's a year, but I don't want to go a year. It's not a year and a half, so I got to go to the months. And I told myself I'd never do that. But yeah, she's not 14 months.
Every month matters.
That's right. That's 100%.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you.